What's going on, guys? Today I'm working on my 2010 Mazda 6, specifically the dash pad here on the passenger side. As you can see, it's been brutally melted from this hot Arizona sun beaming through the window here. A couple years ago, Mazda put out a recall to replace all of the dash pads on these vehicles because it was causing safety concerns when the sun's reflection would blind the drivers. And because I like to work on my car most of the time, I missed out on that recall. And even though I missed out on the recall, I still want to get this thing fixed and looking like new. There are a couple different options when it comes to buying the replacement dash pad for these vehicles. The first option I found was going directly through Mazda. If they still have them in stock, you'll be getting the after recall hard touch plastic dash. The issue is you'll be paying around $400 to $500 to get that, and you'll still probably have to install it yourself. Option 2 would be shopping around on a place like eBay. For the OEM soft touch plastic, you're looking for around $160 to $190. There's a chance you'll find something with the hard touch plastic as well. Just make sure you're not overpaying if you're only going to be getting the OEM soft touch plastic again. The third option, probably the one that won't work for most people, would be to scout around at a junkyard and find a replacement OEM dash. The problem with this option, and the reason why I say it won't work for most people, is because if it's at the junkyard, most likely the vehicle was in a crash. And right behind this part of the dash, you'll find the airbag. If the vehicle was in a crash, the airbag most likely popped through here and already messed up your new dash. Or, like a lot of them I was seeing, had already melted from sitting in the Arizona sun. But recently, I did get lucky finding a really nice OEM, and I was able to pick it up at the junkyard for about 30 bucks, which is actually a pretty great deal. I've been wanting to get this repair done for a while. It's actually super simple to do, guys. Let's get into it. We're gonna start by disconnecting the battery because we're gonna be disconnecting and reconnecting our airbag. The tools we need to start with are this pick and this plastic pry tool. Next, we're going to engage the e-brake since we're going to be putting the car into neutral. You can use a pick or a flathead screwdriver to pop off this little plastic piece here. With that cap removed, you can now push down on the button here and you can put your vehicle into neutral without having to have it on. Now we can use our plastic pry tool and start prying off all of these plastic trim pieces. A plastic pry tool is much better to use than a flathead screwdriver, that way you don't nick or scratch anything. All of these first trim pieces are just held in with plastic tabs. Nothing yet is held in with a screw or a bolt. This trim piece here will have some wires connected to it. Just pull it off and put it to the side. And getting this trim piece off is really easy since we put the shifter into neutral. Go ahead and grab a screwdriver and a Phillips head bit, and we have 4 screws here now to remove this climate control display. Getting this climate control bit pulled out will give us access to the 2 tabs on the bottom holding the navigation screen in place. Now we can pry off this top area. It's not held down by any screws or bolts. And one of the last bits here, we have to pull out our navigation screen just a bit to give ourselves clearance for the dash. This bottom right bolt is a 10mm, but all of the others are screws that use a Phillips head bit. And now we just pull the navigation screen out a little bit. You don't have to fully remove it. And now we have full access to remove the screws for the top part of the dash. There are 4 screws to remove in the front and 1 in the back. You'll probably need an extender to reach this top left back screw. We have 2 more bolts to remove, and we can only access them by removing the glove box. So let's get that done. With our glove box removed, we can take a look underneath and we'll see clearly right here our first 10mm bolt that we need to remove. If you have one of these Sirius XM radio boxes, your second 10mm bolt will be right behind it. So go ahead and remove the 4 screws holding that box in place, and right behind it you'll see our second 10mm bolt. Go ahead and remove that and we will be all set to get this dash removed. With those 5 screws and those 2 bolts removed, we can now slowly start to pull up our dash. As you're removing it, you'll see you have to remove this plug that's connecting your vehicle to your airbag. You just push the tab in and it'll disconnect easily. And now we can fully remove this part of the dash. Let's bring it over to our bench top and we'll swap out the airbag. Look at how sticky and glossy it is compared to the original. There are just 2 Phillips head screws holding the airbag onto the dash. Go ahead and remove those and you can swap it out. Tighten it back down, and now we can get our new dash panel reinstalled. Don't forget to reconnect your airbag, and then we can push this panel back in place. And now it's totally just a matter of putting everything back how it was. We can install our 5 screws for the top part of the panel. And then we have our 2 underneath by the glove box. With that done, we can reinstall our glove box. And now we can get our radio back in place. Our top 2 and our bottom left mounting points are all screws, and then don't forget our bottom right is a 10mm bolt. Now our climate control can be reinstalled. There are 4 mounting screws for that. Our top area gets pushed back in, no bolts or screws required. And then all the other trim panels get pushed back in place with their clips. None of them use bolts or screws. And that is it, guys. That is how easy it is to replace the dash on your 2009 to 2013 Mazda 6. And to prevent mine from melting again, I'm going to be using this faux suede dash cover that I got from Amazon. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If this video was helpful, drop a like. And if you want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on my next auto adventure.